Welcome back to the studio. So I wanted to share some drawing skills with you today. This is a picture of Frida Kahlo. I think I took it at SF MoMA years ago from a photograph that was on the wall. And this is a drawing that I've started. I have a ruler here just to help support my seeing. I actually kind of have an imaginary ruler in my mind, and I'll just show you physically kind of how I compare and see things. I also have a T-square just in case. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do when you're doing a realistic drawing is you want to look at the subject or the object, and you want to draw the outline, comparing with an imaginary horizontal line where the changes in the lines are taking place. Right here is a curve, and I see that this is actually a stronger curve than what I have here. So I'm going to kind of make that a stronger curve, more of an angle. And what you're going to do is just do the outline first. So I have the earlobe a little bit low. This was freehand, and this one I'm actually using the ruler. And I'm going to use the square as well, just to make sure that I'm doing this straight across. So basically what you're doing first is you're getting a reference of where the object meets the negative space. So this is negative space. All this is negative space. And this is the object or the subject. So when you're drawing, you're actually also looking at this as a shape. So you're looking at this negative space as a shape. I'm going to try and work quickly for the sake of time. I don't think the hair has to really be perfectly accurate, so I'm just going to quickly, in fact, this part of the hair I had to imagine what it would be like. Okay, now getting back to the forehead, I want to make sure that I have this accurate. So I'm kind of making corrections to my original drawing that I did freehand. Okay. You can also look at, since we're using a real ruler, look at the negative space here around the lips. So I'm looking at this shape, the size and the angles of that shape, this shape here, and that will give you a much more accurate shape if you're looking at both the lip and the negative space around the lip. Okay, this looks pretty good. It looks like the chin is a little bit low, so I'm going to go like that. comparing how wide this is. So I'd say it's about to there. Okay, and then she has some shadowing here. This looks like it's a little bit long, so I'm going to shorten that just a little bit. Okay, and now that I have things corrected, I'm going to actually erase the things that were not in the right place. So the ear I had a little bit low. The eyebrows I had a little bit low. And the nose I had a little bit low. Okay. So, and then I'm looking at this. This is really close to the edge of the lips. I'm looking at the curve right here, the angle of that curve. It goes like that, and then it comes straight towards the eyelid. So this is the beginning point, is getting the outside of the object or subject. And then going back in and starting to detail and then going in and starting to create some of the details. So I'm going to come over here and change the things that were out of place. And then, let's see, tip of the nose is right there. So as many years as I've had experience drawing, I have to go back and make a lot of corrections when I'm doing freehand drawing. It's a lot easier to use real measuring tools. I took one class where we did watercolor paintings and the instructor had us draw a grid. So actually we took rulers, marked off our reference drawing with 1-inch marks. So 1-inch marks on the sides, 1-inch marks on the top and bottom. Made sure that they were lined up correctly. And then we drew lines. And so everything was completely accurate. But I think that that didn't really challenge us to develop our brains as much, to learn to see with that ruler in your mind. Like, I'm looking at the angle of this. I'm not only looking at the jawline here, I'm looking at the neck. I'm looking at this shape here. So the whole shape, how far apart do these lines go from each other? So as I'm drawing this jawline, these two lines start really close together and then get wider and wider. And then I'm looking at her chin. It's pretty straight right here, and then it starts to curve. So, and this looks way too sharp. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do another video. So this will be video number 1, and I'll do video number 2.